Being an aesthetic man is more than just dressing well. It's about looking clean in your outfits and in your home, having high quality, clean items that show you care about the small details. And today, we're going over 15 items that will make you a more aesthetic guy this fall and winter, from style, scents, home items, and so much more. Starting off with clothing, the first item is the Henley. Honestly, this is a piece that I didn't think I'd be wearing again. These were super popular back then, and this fall, you're gonna be seeing a lot. So many brands are coming out with Henleys, and even some brands who are making some more unique versions as well. Some with only 2 buttons, some with even more. However, for me, I like to stick to the basics. So 3-button Henley, especially in the color gray. Some pieces just have a signature color, and for some reason, gray, in my opinion, is the signature color for Henleys. The one that I have is from Quince. This is super soft, slim fit, and for reference, I am 5'8", 155 pounds. And fun fact, for all my guys who are watching in Canada, everybody was so upset that Quince didn't ship there, but I was told that recently they just started shipping there. So if you're in Canada and always wanted to try out Quince, everything is gonna be linked in the description, as well as right here on YouTube Shopping. Now I will say this specific Henley runs a bit thin, so if you're in a place that's more cold, I recommend the thermal Henley. Best one I've seen so far is this one from Abercrombie. The next item you need is a good jacket. So today we're only going to be going over one item per section, because let's be real, getting multiple different jackets or any item, that's very expensive. Today's video is literally only the best of each item, and out of all my recent purchases, there's one jacket that I think is absolutely god tier, and that's this corduroy Harrington jacket from Banana Republic. I really can't get over this one. This is an absolute beauty, has an amazing fit, very well structured, which is something that not enough people talk about. If you're gonna be getting a jacket, you wanna make sure that it's well structured. This is gonna make your shoulders look more broad, which gives you a more masculine appearance. This one is also a size small. Retail for this jacket is $170, but Banana Republic Factory is still having their sale. So you can find this for around $100, and it is so worth the money. The next item you'll love this fall is a collared sweatshirt. This is actually the best item I found between casual and old money. This one is from Ralph Lauren, and in my opinion, anything with this logo is automatically old money. Thing is, most days I like to dress a little bit more old money, but there are some days that I just want to chill. I don't want to do too much. I want something comfortable and something that looks good. And that sweatshirt material definitely gives you that cozy vibe. And just throwing on a collar on this piece, it just looks that much better. I also think this is just one of those items that not a lot of guys pay attention to. So definitely underrated. Mine is in this dark brown color, which is easily one of the best colors that you should be wearing this fall. Just in general, earth tones, by far the best in the fall, and this brown is probably my favorite color. So speaking of looking better, here's a little update on my cut. The cut is going so well, guys. I actually just feel so much better, and I'm a lot more confident in the way that I look, especially in clothing. I just feel like I look so much leaner, especially on my face. Of course, when it comes to cutting, the main thing is dieting, and the biggest dieting hack that has kept me on track is meal prepping. Thing is, I suck at cooking, so instead of doing that, I've been using Factor, which is the sponsor of today's video. These are chef-made meals, and literally anything from Factor is better than anything that I've made in my 22 years of living. These are completely fresh, ready in 2 minutes, and you could choose exactly what you like. I still eat like an absolute child. There are so many foods that I refuse to eat, and everything from Factor that shows up at my doorstep are all foods that I genuinely enjoy. And it makes it so easy to stay on track of your goals because it has all the nutrition facts on each individual meal, and you're able to pick out what diet you want to stay on. For me, since I'm cutting, I value high protein meals that actually keep me full and are lower in calories. And since I've already lost weight, one of the things that I can credit to that is staying on track, which is definitely from Factor. So if you're interested in trying out these meals, you could head to factor75.com or use the first link in the description and use my code Aaron Ramirez FB50. That's gonna get you 50% off your first box, as well as free breakfast for an entire year. That's an insane deal. Again, boys, I can't recommend these enough. The link's gonna be the first one in the description. One thing that I always look forward to in the fall is fragrances. Now's the time to use heavier notes that typically get noticed more. One purchase that I absolutely love is Prada Paradigm. This is one of their newer colognes. I've actually came to terms the fact that I am not actually a fragrance head. I would much more consider myself an admirer of good colognes. And this one is easily one of my new favorite fall colognes. This is woodsy, citrusy, slightly musky to make you smell even more masculine. I would say think of this cologne as a casual James Bond. It's still pretty casual, but this still makes you smell like you know a thing or two about Roth IRAs. One brand that I hear everybody talk about is Maison Margiela. Everybody swears by these fragrances, and I finally got to try my first one. This is Celestial Whispers, which I gotta say is definitely one of the better names when it comes to colognes. This one is probably my most masculine fragrance in my entire collection, with notes of amber, smoky. It's a little bit spicy, so I would consider this more seductive, if anything. The thing is with these colognes, they're not for everybody, but if you do know you like darker colognes, this is a safe blind buy, but if you're more used to like sweeter colognes, things that are a little bit more popular, then I would recommend going in store, smelling it for yourself. I think these kinds of colognes are a little bit more of an acquired taste, but if you are aiming to smell a little bit more mature and sophisticated, like I said, can't recommend this one enough. I'm gonna be wearing this a lot. All right, moving on to some pants. A lot of you have seen my corduroy trousers from Ralph Lauren, but Ralph Lauren is more expensive, and two, trousers aren't for everybody. I totally get that. I did find a pair of corduroy pants that are casual, but still look very good. These are actually Levi's 511, which has always been some of my favorite pair of Levi's, but instead of denim, now it's corduroy. I actually came across these from Walmart, which is insane. These were very affordable. If you haven't tried corduroy pants yet, you are definitely missing out. And this is the year that you should, just because you could dress these up a little bit more. I love texture in any outfit. Corduroy just looks so good. And again, these are a lot more casual opposed to something like corduroy trousers. Again, everything's linked in the description. All right, now let's move on to some home essentials for the fall. I don't know what it is, but some guys aren't into this kind of stuff. Look, this is not some girly, make my apartment more fall themed. Sounds so funny. I just gotta say, having an aesthetic room or apartment just sets the vibe. Whether you have someone over or not, having certain items that will make you relax at the end of the day or elevate your experience while doing certain things, in my opinion, is some of the best purchases you can make. The other day, I walked into Target and I knew I was getting older because I got so excited. I came across the fall candles. I smelled them all and I think I found the best one. This scent is Black Honey Vanilla. It was only 10 bucks, which is crazy. If you see my last video, you would know that I got this oil diffuser for 10 bucks as well. And this is the same exact scent. This actually smells fantastic. Perfect fall vibe. Having it in a candle version just makes your entire place look so much cooler. And if you want to look even cooler, instead of just using a normal lighter, get an electric lighter. Again, 10 bucks on Amazon. And I always get questions whenever I whip it out or I light my candle in front of somebody using this thing. It's all about the small details, and both these items are perfect. Next item is a rug. I've actually had this one for a month now. Actually, this is the first rug that I've ever bought. And I was looking at old pictures of my apartment. My living room looks so empty without the rug. Obviously, wouldn't consider this a small purchase, but it is a purchase you can make to make any room look so much cooler. Because now looking at my living room, I really want one in my bedroom as well. So even if you don't have your own apartment and you want to upgrade your bedroom, a rug is definitely one of the best purchases you can make. This one is from Quince, which is not only coded for clothing, but for home essentials as well. This was just under 300 bucks. I got the smallest size. My living room is actually quite small, so I don't mind the size by any means. And I gotta say, sometimes I walk around my apartment barefoot and the rug actually feels quite nice on my toes. Kind of weird thing to say, but highly recommend it. All right, the next purchase you can make are fake plants. Again, looking at photos before the plants, my place just looked super bland. This gives you a touch of life without the responsibility of having real plants. I don't know if you've ever tried a real plant, but it died on me pretty quickly. So these days, I just opt for fake plants. Although they don't look as nice, to me, it's definitely worth it just because I don't have to take care of them. I have a few small ones and this huge one that I have right here in the corner. These were actually from Facebook Marketplace. So if you want the cheapest option, definitely from there, but Target sells some good ones. I got this small one for 10 bucks. Okay, picture this. It's nighttime, you're cooking dinner by yourself or with a girlfriend, if you have one of those. Must be nice. But lights are low, playing some good music. You definitely need a good speaker. Of course, music is such a big thing to set the vibe. I personally have been listening to old music, songs like Can't Take My Eyes Off You. That in the fall, especially at night, again, I just think it's a huge vibe. If anybody has a playlist with similar songs like that, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely gonna listen to it. If you need recommendations for a good speaker, I talked about this one from the brand On, which is a Walmart brand, but this one looks so similar to the Marshall one that comes in at a whopping 300 bucks. This one from On is literally 1/3 of that price. It actually sounds so good as well. Overall, this is easily one of the best purchases I've made. In order to complete the vibe that I was just talking about, lighting is so important as well. So I have several options, my favorite being Philips Hue. Course. If you want something small, this is a Go table lamp, which has a range of different colors. You could charge it on this small little stand, and then from there, take it anywhere you want, to different rooms or just different parts of your room without any wires at all. But because you're able to change it to different colors, it is a lot more expensive. So if you don't really care about that, I have these light bulbs that don't change colors. They're a lot cheaper. You can, however, change the dimness. And again, at night, you want to be able to change the dimness. It makes such a difference having a light on full blast. If you turn it down at night, it looks so much better. I also have this one from Govee, which is a cheaper option, but I, for the life of me, can't figure out how to put this into Apple. If you can't tell by now, I'm slowly adding things to my apartment. One of the things that I was struggling with is the fact that my walls were super naked. But one purchase that I've made to fix that are these little shelves that I bought on Amazon. They were super cheap. I love the walnut color. That being said, they are quite small, so The original plan was to put books on them, but I don't think they're big enough for that. Right now, I don't have anything on there. So the plan right now is to get a Lego Porsche, put it on there. I found this little statue that I'm gonna buy pretty soon. This one looks so cool. And if you have any recommendations to put on the shelves, let me know because I am very open to suggestions. The next purchase you can make is a throw blanket. This makes your space feel more inviting, especially your couches. Right now I have this small cashmere one. It looks cool, but it's not as warm. And right now that it's getting colder, especially in my apartment at night, I don't know if I'm gonna sound too feminine, but sometimes I just wanna cuddle up, watch some movies, and have a nice blanket. I'm looking to purchase a thicker throw blanket, but it is a purchase that'll make your place look a lot more aesthetic. Next thing you can buy is a hand lotion. As it's getting colder, your skin is probably gonna feel more dry, especially your hands. And again, being an aesthetic guy, you can't walk around with ashy skin. I found this one from the brand Ballman's. First of all, has a nice little subtle scent to it, but this one has been working great and has a good rating on Yucca. I got this one on Amazon and 100% love the purchase. And by now, you will be way more aesthetic, not only in your style, but literally every aspect of your life. But if you're in school and you want some small purchases that'll make you look aesthetic as well, then here's a video to show you exactly that.